Hello! So yes, the title of this video is about Palworld stuff, and I promise you it is. But give me a minute, because I've got to walk you to that point which led me to discover a deep, hidden and buried secret about Palworld, and how I found the, or possibly just a, secret pal hidden in the game's very files still. Now, I've used this little bat avatar to host 2 or 3 videos over the last couple of weeks. I think all of them actually have been about Palworld. Just seem to fit the theme a lot better than some of the other avatars I commonly use. But you folks seem to quite like him, which is lovely to hear because he is in fact the very first 3D character model I made completely from scratch over the last 5 weeks or so, which I've spent trying to teach myself 3D modeling in Blender. I've been trying a few different approaches to modeling, rigging and even animating, from low poly PS1 style stuff or GameCube inspired humanoids to extreme limit challenges, which led to my transforming Optimus Prime, which I made in just 240 faces in a tiny texture file, and most recently this low poly furry guy, just generic furry dog thing. I really quite like the low poly thing. And the little purple bat here, who has no name of his own, as he's not really a character in and of himself, it's just me, Bunty, in little cutie bat form. He was made when I was trying to emulate an Animal Crossing style character to see what I could learn from that process. I specifically chose an animal that didn't exist in Animal Crossing, a bat, so I had to think about what that would look like in the Animal Crossing style instead of just, copying one of the other cats or dogs or whatever other little wonderful creatures that are in Animal Crossing, and just, giving them a different texture, basically. And his colours and fur pattern here came from this, which obviously not a model I made, but it is something I retextured and modified just a little bit a few months back when I made a video about me trying to figure out what the deal with furries actually was. I learned quite a lot. If you haven't seen that video, have a look at it again. I'm quite proud of it, actually. But I really liked how he came out, so I used his patterns on this avatar as well. Bloody hell, it has just started pouring down outside. I'm sorry if that's coming through on the mic. Just treat it as ambient ASMR rain. Just relax. Anyway, but because this looks like a cartoon chibi style little animal friend, and because I've used him almost exclusively as an avatar for presenting Palworld related videos, of course I got a few comments along the way suggesting that he looks like a pal himself, like he could be from Palworld of the game. And you're not wrong. I think he'd fit in pretty stylistically nicely. But like I said, he is specifically an Animal Crossing style character. I did, however, also intend to practice my shaky new 3D modeling skills by modeling a Palworld critter. I figured it'd be kind of funny, seeing as when the game first launched, there was a bunch of clowns claiming that Palworld themselves just, made direct copies of a bunch of Pokemon 3D models and changed them just a little bit. So I was going to do that, but starting with a PAL model instead, kind of like a game of, whisper telephone, a copy of a copy of a copy, and somewhere along the line it sort of drifts from the original. Oh, and now there are sirens to go with the rain. Fantastic. What an excellent choice to record right now. Oy. So when selecting a PAL to 3D model from scratch, I chose Depresso because I loved him from the instant I saw him in the game on day one. On launch day of the game, I was live streaming. I spotted him and went, oh, I love him. His look, the tired, done with it all eyes, the hilariously lackadaisical animations for mining, the way he'd lay face down in the hot spring. It was hilarious and very dark humor, and I appreciated that. And as someone with bipolar depression himself, I related to Depresso. So I Google image searched up for some references of Depresso to look at while I sketched up a front and side view to model by. And I actually found someone hosting the 3D model ripped right from the game files themselves. A perfect reference. So I snatched that up, thinking I could use it as a handy, fully 3D reference I could turn around at will on a second screen while I worked to create my own version. But when I went to load up the files to do just that, I made a discovery. The original file names reflected some of Depresso's history, as they carried what seemed to be his original name, or at least his design placeholder name. I introduce to you, Negative Koala! And as you may have picked up from the sound of beer, barbizan, red outback sand in my voice, as an Australian myself, how could I resist? I mean, I guess I was already not resisting because I already liked Depresso, but this kind of locked it in for me. Not only would I recreate a 3D model based on the Palworld style, based on Depresso specifically, but I'd pay tribute to the accident of soil upon which I was born, and my mental health condition, and Depresso's own history. It was a perfect storm. So I redesigned Depresso as a koala. the way he was originally envisioned, perhaps. Why they strayed away from the koala concept, I'll never know, possibly. But koalas are perfect for what they envisioned Depresso as. Koalas are low-energy critters too, dozing away in crooks of gum trees for up to 18 hours a day, which, in the depths of my own depressive swings, I can come close to matching for days at a time, except, you know, in a bed, not a eucalyptus tree. Because, you know, bad back, don't you know? Some of you have already seen him, of course. I uploaded a little animation test I did with him last week as a short right here on YouTube. So, I give you, officially, Melon Koala. You like that name? Melancholy Koala. Melon Koala. I think it's genius. But then again, I came up with it. The secret and semi-abandoned pal, and what could have been an alternate universe Depresso. And yes, if you're wondering what other secret names pals had, I got a few more files from the same place. Not all of the pals, but, you know, a few. Cativa, for instance, started life as Pink Cat, rather unimaginatively. Chickabee was, wait for it, Chicken Pal. Lamball was instead Sheep Ball. True story. Mossanda was Grass Panda. Grisbolt was once Elec Panda, and Quivern was Sky Dragon. So, yeah, I mean, lots of fairly obvious and fairly descriptive placeholder names. None as inspiring as Negative Koala, or, you know, Melon Koala for that matter. But, of course, in Grisbolt's files, there was also Zoe, the first boss, who rides on Grisbolt's back when you first meet him. And her original name tells you a little something more about what that first fight might have been instead, in a universe where we got Melon Koala. Because Zoe, who would ride around on Elec Panda, was once intended to be called Grass Boss. So somewhere along the line, her whole not a gym leader typing changed from grass to electric. Can't help but wonder what other secrets are hiding in the file names throughout this game. Anyway, hope you found this interesting, because I did. Well, you know, anywhere from slightly tedious, Sheep Ball, to genuinely inspiring, Negative Koala.
Fuck off.
So thanks for watching. I am Blunty. Thank you as always to the patrons scrolling all the way up above there. I am Blunty, whether or not I'm in this avatar. And I will catch you next time.